Austria, Drich Kauper, waiting for that first whistle on what is sure to be a tense and taut and a nervy night of football. Two sides with such impressive defensive records that you get the feeling tonight is one of those nights, Kevin Keegan, where every half chance has got to count.
Yeah, it's a real test for both sides, but you feel that the onus is on Arsenal tonight to go and get a lead that will see them through when they go over to Belgium.
Well, Arsenal in that familiar red and white strip. Standard Liège tonight in yellow shirts, black shorts. Liège 10th in their league. Smith getting on with a header and knocked away there by Geno, the young right back of Liège, only 20 years old. In fact, both the full-backs, Geno at 20 and Leonard at 19, under a real test here tonight. Geno again. He's already won a couple of caps for his country. Winterburn with the throw for Arsenal. Not a full house by any means, but a noisy one here. Wright with his first shot. The goals have dried up a little bit for Ian Wright at this stage of the season, but he still has 9 to his credit. 30 last season, remember, and Arsenal pinning so many hopes on him tonight.
There's a lot of players in the First Division or the Premier League as it now is would love to have dried up as much as this fella has, but by his own high standards, I don't think he's scored for a few games. And one thing you do know with Ian Wright, he will make chances and he will score goals.
I don't really want to batter you with statistics, but Arsenal with 11 Premiership games have scored only 12 times this season, and Standard Liège, 11 games in the Belgian First Division, have scored only 10 times. Here's Dixon getting forward very well, and they had to knock that away again. Geno once again giving the first corner of the match to Arsenal. Paul Merson over here on the left-hand side, ready to take it. Both Keown and Adams have gone forward. Good noisy Arsenal crowd as Merson fires in the corner. And Mooneyron flicking it on. Davies couldn't quite get on the end of that one. Jensen with a shot just over the top. Well, John Jensen has been here some 16 months. He's never scored for Arsenal. You all remember that splendid goal he scored for Denmark in the European Championship final against Germany in Gothenburg. He's scored once since then for his country and never scored for Arsenal. Just a little too high there from the competitive little Dane from that midfield.
He really strikes it too well, but George Graham didn't buy him to score goals, but I suppose he'd appreciate one now and again and take them gladly.
Now someone knocking the header down there to Van Rooij. Van Rooij going in also on the far side, challenged by McGoldrick. That's the Dutchman. The Belgians pinned so much hopes on this man here. Talking to him last night, they say he's got a Liam Brady left foot about him, and we saw a left foot pass which was knocked away that time by Arsenal. Well, way off the target there. Merson will pick this up. A little knot of Liège supporters there in the picture.
I think one of the interesting confrontations tonight will be how they can handle Smith up front, because they don't have many players of that size that are that good in the air over in Belgium. They play a totally different way, and I think he's going to be the key tonight. Balls in, knockdowns, and you've got someone like Wright and Merson looking to benefit from that.
Actually, Adi Haan, the Dutchman who's the manager, the coach of Standard Liège, when I showed him the team, he raised his eyebrows at Smith being there. He said, oh, he's going to do some damage in the penalty area. Davis. Smith preferred to Campbell. Geno again getting it away. Jensen playing it in. Here's Smith playing a good ball wide for Davis. No, not quite good enough. It's a goal kick for Standard Liège. Talking about their poor defensive, their poor attacking record. They've got wonderful defensive records, both of them. Arsenal conceded only 6 in 11 and Standard only 7 in their 11.
It's amazing, Brian. Despite the similarity in the two stats there, Arsenal are at the top of our league and they're at about 10th in theirs, which shows you maybe a little bit how the different leagues form.
Yes, a Belgian friend said Arsenal fans will enjoy watching Standard. He said they play nice football and they never really embarrass people by scoring goals against them. So I think they'll put on a bit of style. They just haven't been able to take their chances standard this season, apparently. Nice little turn by Jensen. But away come Wilmots. Now he is a dangerous customer. Just forced his way into the Belgian national side. This is the Moroccan Lachaf on the far side, playing it in here. Ehlers, the captain. Geno. And that's going to be an Arsenal throw.
I think of all the ties, you looked at Manchester United when they drew the Turkish side Galatasaray, you thought that's a great draw. You looked at Aston Villa, and a lot of people in this country don't know a lot about Deportiva La Coruña, who were quite a good side, but they thought, well, that's not a bad draw. They looked at poor old Norwich and said they've no chance, and they've done a great job for British football last night. And this is a tricky one. You know, they need a little bit of a cushion to go over there, because when they get at home, these sides, with the quality they've got, obviously a couple of the injured players back, they're going to be looking to take any disadvantage and get it back fairly quickly. It's a fascinating tie, this one. Probably the best balanced tie of the four.
And Arsenal, you feel, will certainly want something to take to Liège. It's a notorious ground in terms of the atmosphere it creates there. The Belgian national side in the past, whenever they've had a tricky international, they always take it to Liège because the crowd is so vociferous. So Arsenal might well have quite a job on their hands. This is Mark Wilmots. To number 6, Pista. Here's Keown, getting it forward to Davis. The crowd shouted to Davis to tell him there was a Belgian behind him. Winterburn. Right, just nodding it on. Rednich, the Romanian. Dive by Wright, didn't fool the Austrian referee. A throw. Here's Rednich again. 83 times Rednich has played for Romania. Pista plays just in front of the 2 markers at the back. Keown getting it forward again towards Wright. And certainly after football's Black Wednesday last Wednesday, it was terrific to see the performance at Norwich last night, and indeed Aston Villa as well. Congratulations to both of them. Let's hope Manchester United tonight and Arsenal also can continue that good work. There's Martin Keown.
Well, Martin Keown's been given a marking job tonight, and I do feel that's the best way to play him. Sometimes his use of the ball when they're in possession isn't so good, but he certainly can dog someone and make life very difficult for the best of players.
Here comes Seaman. So important, as we've been stressing, that Arsenal go looking for goals that have been so difficult for them in the last few weeks, but it is equally important they concede nothing at the other end. Don't want to concede an away goal, as it were, for Liège to get the luxury of an away goal. Vervoort, the header. This is Rednich. Keep forward again. Van Rooij, Wilmots, and Schaaf. Good play here, bringing Geno in. Getting some support here by Wilmots as well. Geno. Van Rooij, the Dutchman. Kiel. Play to Schaaf. So he can break it up. Davis. Oh, lost his footing there. Gave the ball away. Schaaf again, who really flies down that right flank. We haven't seen that yet. Here's Merson. Davis. And Dixon. Smith. Down goes McGoldrick. This time it is a free kick to Arsenal.
He's a very useful player, McGoldrick. Not just in the sense he plays out on the right, he can play sweeper, he can play full-back. He's a dream for a manager to have at his club, really. Gives you so many options. I feel this is the best position he plays in, out on the right. He's much better than people give him credit for. And I think over a period of time he'll prove to be a very, very good signing.
In the meantime, mysteriously, Ian Wright is down on the ground. And he's holding his head. Whether there was a clash there. The crowd certainly behind the goal didn't react. We were busy looking at Eddie McGoldrick.
You know, a lot of people who don't watch a lot of football,
let's just have a look at this for a moment, Kevin. See
these
what
are the sort of
here.
incidents that are...
Well, that didn't look that bad to me, I must say, but a little clash there with Guy Ehlers. What did you feel about that?
I really didn't see anything that would really justify someone going down, but and seeing by his reaction there, I don't like to see this anyway. I mean, if a boxer goes down, it's usually because he's got a fair old punch.
I wonder if we just have a look at that again, possibly, as Gary Lewin is having a look at Ian Wright there. Guy Ehlers, the Stade Liège captain, a Luxembourg international. Just have a look at this now, on the edge of the box there, number 7 and Ian Wright. There's a bit of jostling going on there.
You just can't see from this distance, but it's a call again for the people who want the similar thing to the cricket, whereby a referee can go and ask someone at the side to have a look at it. I don't think you'd find much wrong with that, to be honest.
Well, Wright is okay to continue. Dixon with the free kick. Smith trying to flick it on. And Winterburn back to Seaman. Rednich. No, it was Geno, in fact, who got the header in. Number 6 is Pista. Wilmots. Back to Munaron. He's the number 2 goalkeeper to Bodart, who injured an ankle against Cardiff in the previous round. But he's a pretty experienced guy, 37 years old. He's a Belgian international with 8 caps. So he's tried and tested. Let's have a quick word with Gary Newbon down on the touchline.
Well, Brian, I'll find out from Gary Lewin exactly what the problem was when he gets back to the bench. But meanwhile, the Arsenal manager, George Graham, who's spending the first half in the director's box, tells me that he sent his players out with a clear instruction: impose their game on the Belgians. Arsenal, he says, mustn't sit back and let the opposition play the continental game. They have to deny them the space and the time on the ball.
Thanks, Gary. Notice that Gary Lewin is back in the bench there, so maybe we should get some more information about that Ian Wright injury in just a moment. That was Geno getting it away to Wilmots. Pista. Jensen for Arsenal. Merson. Seeking to impose themselves, as Gary was saying, on this Standard Liège side. This is Merson. Swooping in from the wing as he does so well. A good run there in the end, stopped by Pista. Hasselmann. Seaman. Jensen. A little work in that midfield already, Jensen. This is McGoldrick. No foul, said the referee. A little bit of rain beginning to fall now, a shower which will freshen the surface a little bit. Very much to the players' liking, I would think. Although the Belgians are saying the pitch is in terrific shape. Lewis. Chippering challenge there by Winterburn on Wilmots. He wasn't happy. The Austrian referee getting in and pushing them away.
I felt it was a good tackle, Brian. I mean, sometimes in the game today, I mean, he comes in the back, I admit, but I felt he had every right. Look, he gets the ball. And he's a man they're going to have to watch. He's very... They talk about Liam Brady. He's not quite like him, but you can see why they've made the comparisons. Very cool on the ball and looks to set everything in motion that the Standard Liège do.
Van Rooij. Dixon. Roy with the throw. Finds Hasselmann. Pista. And Merson. The long ball away. Wright's charging after it. Now can Wright get the better of Ehlers? In comes Geno. Wright still not finished though. In goes Merson. They beat him away. Now Winterburn. Came off for number 6, Thierry Pista, for a throw to Arsenal.
There's the pace of Wright again, causing problems. It's such a good outlet. They've got 2 tremendous outlets tonight. They've got Wright's pace, which is always a threat, and Smith as a secondary outlet as well, who's so good in the air. So there's no reason why they shouldn't do what George Graham asks and get some real pressure on these.
Merson playing it in. McGoldrick's on the far side, didn't come through to him. It was Vervoort, the Belgian international World Cup player, who got in there and got it away for the corner. Merson with the corner again. Keown's up there. Floated in there. Smith tried a little flick on, but he was very well masked there by a defender. Merson again for Arsenal. Winterburn up to Paul Davis. Wilmots. This is Van Rooij. Headers. The ball played into Asselman, who's just offside.
Just got caught nearly on the break there, Brian, didn't they?
Good.
Beautiful night for playing football, little skiddy surface. Ball's got to be accurate.
McGoldrick enjoying this little moment. Just a little bit behind both Smith and Wright. Pista. Van Rooij, let it go. McGoldrick's there. Now Dixon. McGoldrick. It's another free kick. Vervoort on Eddie McGoldrick. Yellow card.
Yes. The way McGoldrick plays, Brian, he almost invites people to come in and challenge him and relies on flicking it past them. And he does take a lot of stick. And sometimes you've got to feel sorry for the defenders because you can't always get it right. But the referee straight away has really sent out a message to all the players on the park. Yes, you get away with some things, but if you start going over the top or late tackles, you're in the book. Now, if I was McGoldrick or any of the Arsenal players, I'd say get at him now, because the next foul could be off.
Right. He's a pretty experienced player, though, the number 3, Patrick Vervoort, Belgian international. Played, in fact, in that wonderful game from England's point of view in Bologna in the last World Cup, when David Platt's last-minute goal snatched the game for England. Let's see what he can find out what happened to Ian Wright.
Yes, Brian, I can tell you exactly what happened. Ian Wright is claiming he got an elbow in the head, but Gary Lewin persuaded Ian that there was nothing really wrong with him. He's back in the thick of the action, as you can see. And when that last foul happened, Stuart Houston, the assistant manager, got really angry with his opposite number, Ari Hahn. So Arsenal clearly not pleased with that.
Thank you, Gary. Free kick to Arsenal. Paul Davis with it. Taking it in a long way. Smith over the top. Wow, wow, wow.
That was a real chance, Brian. He'll be a little bit disappointed. It wasn't easy, but you would have thought he just needed a touch and it must go in. But there you go, left foot, not his strongest, just over the bar.
But on a night like this, those are the chances that have got to go in, Kevin.
They are, but they're made a little bit more difficult by the surface, and he did ever so well to get in there, Brian, to be fair.
Adams with a header. Pista getting it clear, up to Wilmots. Adams claiming a dive by the Belgian number 11.
It's a wet night, Brian. We've already seen some good dives already from both teams, to be fair.
But as you say, a terrific surface now for the game. Van Rooij. Ehlers. This is Rednich, the Romanian. Another free kick, a foul this time by Ian Wright on Rednich. And a yellow card for Ian Wright.
It's silly that. Let the referee the game. You know, a lot of people criticise Ian Wright for some of the things he does. He's a little bit late here. I think he's going for the ball, but look, he stays in there, and that's a foul. OK, he'd possibly get away with that. But what he won't let him get away with is picking the player up. I mean, you never know, he could have broke his leg. I don't think he has for 1 minute, but I don't think players should try and do referees' jobs. They're probably thinking of a career afterwards, because they get paid quite well now, Brian.
That's Ari Hahn, the 44-year-old Dutchman. Thank goodness he's won just about everything in the game. World Cup winners' medal with Holland. Well, no, a World Cup final medal, rather.
Twice, Brian.
That's right.
He's actually got two losers' medals. Which,
2 losers' medals and 3 European Cup winners' medals with Ajax in the great Johan Cruyff era. A couple of Coppiner's Cup medals, I think, in this competition with Anderlecht, one of them against West Ham. Possibility, you know, Kevin, this could get a little naughty here tonight.
Well, I don't think it's to anybody's advantage, and you know, Arsenal are a physical side, but not a dirty side, and I can't imagine Ariane, the way he played, wanting his side to be physical, so it might be just the first 25 minutes. I think the referee, to be fair, has stamped himself on it early, and the players should know by now they're not going to get away with anything.
Well, here's Arsenal's corner, Paul Davis with it, floated in again, Wilmots with a header clear for Standard Liège. Goldrick. Another corner. More work for Davis. Forward once again, Keown. Adams already up there.
It's from corners where you can see Arsenal causing them problems, but so far they've dealt very well with them.
Served another one in. Flicked, in fact, I think probably off the head of Smith that time, but straight into the arms of Jackie Munaron.
He's not the biggest goalkeeper in the world. Smith does get a flick on here, Brian, and you're looking for someone to go in there. It's a sort of position you think Ian Wright would be, but as you can see, he's a little bit further out.
Headers. And Merson get the better of him, though, the Luxembourg. And gets it to Geno, and then to Rednic, the Romanian, gets it clear, and a throw to Arsenal. Goldrick, who was injured in that tackle a few moments ago, we understand might need a stitch in his leg at half-time. Nice little touch there by Smith. Merson trying to take full advantage of it. But they are defending really well at the moment, the Belgians. That's an offside against Asselman, no doubt about it.
Yeah, Adams did really well here, and this shows you experience. I mean, he's a very, very experienced player for his age now, and he just stepped up and saved an awful lot of running back in a dangerous situation.
Winterburn to Smith. Back again to Nigel Winterburn. Davis. Merson. Hasselman to Van Rooij, the Dutchman. Lachaf. Vervoorts outside him. Dixon gets it clear. Swift challenge there by Wright on Leonard. Confident enough to play it across the face of his goal there. Pista trying to get it forward to Van Rooij. Arsenal's throw.
Can see the pattern of the game developing before his eyes, Brian, here, that Arsenal will have most of the possession, but they must watch them on the break. They break very quickly and get men forward very quickly.
Winterburn, good break by him. Does it turn into a corner? No. It came finally off the Arsenal defender, but certainly plenty of good movement by Arsenal as well.
Yeah, the movement's terrific, but it's going to be hard. Just as Bayern Munich found against Norwich last night, if you get men behind the ball and they all work for each other, and a keeper playing with the back four, very alert, it's very difficult. You've got to work twice as hard in these games.
Jensen. Down goes right again, that time number 4, Leonard. He ran into him. Play on, said the referee. Pista, backing it forward. Ellis. George Graham, honest enough in the match programme tonight to say in his notes, we're not playing well right now. Too many games, he said, when our supporters have left unhappy, and we can't let that continue.
Abroad in games like this, get the crowd quiet first. It's going to be very difficult to get this crowd quiet here because they are very noisy. but they've had a good start as far as the Belgians go, and I think Ariane will be happier at this moment of time than will George Graham.
Dixon preventing the ball going through to Leige. Seaman playing it here for Winterburn. So far only one real chance being made in the match. But Alan Smith got on the end of, but just couldn't keep from going over the crossbar. Here's McGoldrick, swiftly challenged again by Vervoort. Dixon's throw. McGoldrick. Corner. Davis will take it. Standard to beat Cardiff City 8-3 on aggregate in the last round. Arsenal beat Odense of Denmark 3-2 on aggregate. Davis with a corner. Arsenal make something of this. Came off Wilmots for another corner. Winterburn back. Guillaume shuffling about in there as Davis plays another one in. Might come for Adams, might it? Almost squirted through just for a moment to Ian Wright. Merson hit wide on the far side. Paul Davis had gone out there, stayed out there. McGoldrick, good run by Eddie McGoldrick. Across by him, just behind Alan Smith, but a missed kick by the Belgians presents Arsenal with another corner. Guy Ehlers.
You just feel, Brian, if they keep getting corners, they're going to cause some problems.
McGoldrick with the cross. Smith tried to get the header. Wright's here for Arsenal. Crossed in again. That's an easy one though for Munaron.
Corners, but no goals yet, Brian. 7-0. That's makes it look very one-sided, which it has been, to be fair, in terms of possession. But Arsenal haven't really opened them up yet, and you feel this left side where they're going now is a place they should exploit the young fullback, I think.
There's Smith up well. Jensen into McGoldrick. Guillaume. Dixon's well forward. Leige. Another break here by Standard. Hasselmann's there. Van Rooij's here. Wilmots is in there too. This is Genoa. It's important they don't concede something here, and just for a moment Wilmots was very nearly in for Standard. Can't get hold of it. Winterburn finally gets it away, but Jensen then gives it away. Pista stopped though by Davis. That was a really rocky moment for Arsenal just now.
The signs are there. That's what they're going to do when they break. They usually break very quickly and with a lot of quality about them. And really and truthfully, he tried to really hammer the ball. I think it'd have been better, especially on the greasy surface, which it now is after the rain we've had. Just trying to slide it in, but a very good move, and just a little warning for Arsenal that yes, you can have the possession. Watch this. The young fullback does well. I thought he'd taken it too far, but actually puts in a real quality ball through his legs, and yeah, it would have been difficult to score from there.
Back to Seaman. Davis with the header. From Roy. Jensen. Will it come through to Smith? It will. Finds Merson. Wright's up ahead of him. Winterburn supporting. An early cross from Winterburn. Jensen trying to keep it going now. McGoldrick on the far side, using their flanks well, Arsenal now. Jensen with this delicate little cross there towards Alan Smith. McGoldrick. Jensen's still out there if he wants him. Decides to play it back to Dixon. Jensen now. Merson on that side. McGoldrick again. Arsenal keeping this pressure. Looking for this opening goal. Still can't find it. And yellow shirts are buzzing in that Standard Liège defence. Dixon tries to get in, but he was well beaten there by Rednich. This is Leige. Geno. Ehlers to Favort. Rednich. So half an hour gone. Still 0-0 here in this European Cup Winners' Cup tie between Arsenal and Standard Liège, the Cup winners of Belgium. I think they were looking for a double at one point, Standard Liège. They finished second in the Belgian First Division behind Anderlecht. Anderlecht for a long time had a long league. And as Kevin reminded me before the start, there's offside there. Standard made up a lot of ground over the last few weeks of the season, but second in the table and cup winners shows the current pedigree of this Standard Liège side.
Yeah, and without two of the key players tonight, so you've got to look at the strength and depth that they've obviously got, which Arsenal have too, to be fair, if you look at the subs they've got on the bench.
Smith beaten in the air. They again get the ball from Davis out to Goldrick. Goldrick again, a little touch and a very good touch by Goldrick. In goes Lee Dixon. Davis. Winterburn. Davis.
I still can't help but feel this young fullback, he's plenty of energy in that, but he's the one they've got to get at. He looks like he's just feeling a little bit more than most of the experienced ones out there. But he hasn't been tested yet as much as maybe he should have been.
Winterburn with the throw. Smith with the header on. Winner on, got it, lost it! And finally knocked away by Rednich. Had it knocked out of his hands, in fact, by a teammate.
He's not the biggest, is he? And he came full length, and his own player had it out of his hands.
Merson to Wright, pulling away from the defender there. Well, Ian Wright. Jensen. Oh, unfortunate for him, Van Rooij got there first. Leige. He's got terrific pace. They're in real trouble here. They could be. No, Keown doing a good marking job there. Kevin giving me a knock on the arm there, as much as to say Arsenal in real trouble here. You thought that?
I really did, but Keown had the sense to leave his man and come on the ball, which is great defending for me. It's the most important thing in football. Sometimes they forget, which is the ball. But his pace, he's got good pace. He read it very well there.
Seaman hitting it long. Smith with a header. A free kick for Arsenal. A foul by Smith. And McGoldrick taking it quickly, but just a little too quickly for Wright, who went barging into the defender. Throw given to Arsenal.
Do with the ball boys with towels here tonight, Brian. It's wet. I seem to remember one ground where they had them for a while.
Yeah, it's difficult to get some purchase on a wet ball for a long throw. Davis missed it. Merson gets it back to Winterburn. Right here on this left touchline now. Merson inside him. Plays it inside for Paul Merson. But it come for Wright on the turn. Not enough power to worry Muneron. This was the earlier chance.
It's a good flick on this by Smith. That's what he's going to do. And he seems to have it covered, and then, well, actually, he just dropped it. I don't think the defender maybe put him off, but he certainly didn't head it out of his hands, Brian, did he?
Nope. Up goes Alan Smith again. Heading straight to Merson. The little ball played by Merson. Now it may just have gone too far from McGoldrick. Just held it up a little bit. But McGoldrick's trying to make something of it. Merson tried to get in there also on the edge of the 6-yard area. Arsenal's throw again. Seaman at the moment has hardly seen anything of the ball. He's patrolling just outside his penalty area with the action right at the other end. Dixon, real up and under there. How will they cope with that? Well, cope with it well enough. The Arsenal fans claim that that came off the hand of Wilmots.
Sometimes, Brian, a good up and under beats all the sophistication of 1-2s. And
indeed, Geno's in trouble here. And a smack in the face. Young fullback. Winterburn going down the line there. Geno claiming it was a standard ball, but it's Arsenal's. Here comes Pista. Van Roy. Just about 10 minutes remaining of the first half.
Another example there, Brian. If the ball's not to feet on this surface, you don't get a second chance. It's really zipping off it of all the players, and it's the real technical, skilled players who will come out on top tonight. No margin of error at all on this surface.
Right. Just for the moment, there looked to be a bit of space for him. There was an infringement, giving Standard Liège the free kick. Standard, in fact, had never beaten an English side in European competition. They lost to Liverpool in the Cup Winners' Cup in 65-66. Well, actually, the Saint must have been playing at that time.
I wasn't born, Brian, so I wouldn't know, but you might remember it.
And they lost to Leeds in the Fairs Cup in 68-69 and in the European Cup 69-70. I remember that, particularly a very stormy game in Liège. I think Peter Lorimer scored the winner there for Leeds. Up goes Bright. Merson with a good shot. And that's getting a little bit off the surface, so the keeper did pretty well to get behind that one and knock it away. Some good work by Smith leading up to it. Well taken here by Merson. He hammered that one in.
Excellent save, Brian. The most difficult ball to deal with.
Smith tried to knock that on and tried to toe poke it in, but the Belgians were surrounding him again quickly. It's a goal kick.
It's the first time we've really seen Merson as a force in this game, and I do feel that wrapped up in this guy is an excellent footballer, but I don't think yet we've seen his full potential. Could have been handball there, Brian, as well.
The other team to have beaten Standard, Manchester City, who beat them in the UEFA Cup in 78-79. A word from Gary Newborn.
Obviously, the way the game is going, the Arsenal bench are concentrating on their forwards, and it's interesting that Merson's just had that chance because they've really been going at him to stay over on the left post and attack that fullback.
Well, that's interesting, Gary. Thank you. That's exactly what Kevin's been saying. The fullback is young and not that experienced, and maybe is the man to be attacked.
Well, one of the problems, Brian, though, is it doesn't come natural to Merson. It does to McGoldrick, but Merson, he wants playing behind the front too, sort of what we call in the hole. And for him, he's really got to work hard at it.
Winterburn's throw. Pista gets it away. Geno. Now right, the flag is up.
When you look at the game and you start to try and think what Arsenal would need here tonight, they're the one side in England, I think, who could be happy with a 1-0 win because they're so difficult to break down. Man United, you wouldn't fancy them totally because, you know, they do let some goals in, probably more than they should sometimes, although they're the best side in the country. But Arsenal, they just stick to it, and one goal might be enough. They've got to get it, of course, first.
Pista playing it forward again. Also, they've got to be absolutely sure, Kevin, they concede nothing. I mean, 0-0 would be disappointing, but 1-1 would be worse, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but 3-0 would be great.
3-0 would be great. There's a curious ball played there by the Belgians. A corner needlessly given away.
Obviously, they don't fear them from corners. They're giving them now. Mistake by the Moroccan. Lechef, who's very quick. But,
let's see what Arsenal can produce from this corner. Paul Davis again with it. Floated in again there. Muller on Flapping that one away. Leige, who conceded the corner, gets it away.
They've played every single one of their 8 corners, or 9 now, to the near post, and you just feel they might get a little bit of joy if they just switch one. Very predictable they'll be coming from them.
Here's Alan Smith. Played in early by Keown. Will Wright get there first? It's a goal for Arsenal. Ian Wright.
Well, I think it'd be unfair to say he hasn't had a kick yet, but he's certainly not played a major part in the game so far. But he has now. And it's amazing, Brian. It's Smith, who you want in the middle, who's doing the work out wide. Great cross, I think from McGoldrick. And a terrific finish. The goalkeeper left in absolute no man's land.
Stolen like a cat burglar there, didn't he?
It was Keown who knocked the ball in. Great ball. Difficult for the keeper because it was always coming away from him. And a great finish. It's become his trademark, hasn't it? Headers, as well as on the ground. He's a good all-round finisher.
Well, I've been saying in fact, George Graham himself said the goals have dried up a little bit for Ian Wright lately. But certainly at a press conference yesterday, Ian was saying he's gone down again there. He said, whenever I go onto the field, I always think I'm going to score. Well, he's done just that. He's taken another knock as well. I don't know how serious that is. But that's, as you say, that was his trademark, really, wasn't it? Stealing in when you least expect him. Actually, he was given quite a bit of space there, Kevin, wasn't he?
He was, but Alan Smith had gone out wide, knocked this ball back to Keown, and the big man had gone with him. And, of course, he's made a great run, and the keeper's been a little bit slow for me to react. But it was a difficult ball because Keown bent it away from him. But I think, Harry Arnold will be disappointed, A, that they conceded a goal from this situation, B, just at the time they have, which is, shortly before half-time. But he just keeps scoring. It's a terrible habit to get into.
Well, he looks to be okay.
I think it's just an elbow here or something as he goes up.
Yeah, there was. And that looked a deliberate elbow there by the number 6, Pista. It's a free kick to Arsenal. Up towards Alan Smith again. Jensen. Claim a handball. The linesman is flagging, and it's just outside the box. It's a handball. It's a free kick to Standard.
It's lovely to have an unbiased commentator tomorrow. Seeing everything. Can't help but be patriotic, just like last week. It's a lovely thing.
That's right. Arsenal bench saying that the elbow on Ian Wright they think was an accident. Leige, flag is up. It's an Arsenal free kick. Moroccan international there. Leige played 18 times for his country.
I don't think the goal will bring a major change in this match because at 1-0 Leige will feel they've done a good job here tonight, and the onus is still on Arsenal in a sensible way now. They've got a lot of time to go and get another one, which would virtually, in my opinion, finish this tie because there's such a good defensive side away from home.
Jensen. McGoldrick beaten by the challenger for Voort. It's long. Here's Nigel Winterburn. Harrison. Smith. Gets it back again to Winterburn. Here's Merson. McGoldrick on that far side, and Dixon also. Here's Dixon. And now McGoldrick. Having a real battle there. That's a real classy battle between those two at the moment. McGoldrick and Vervoort. Throw given Standard Liege's way. Into the first half now. McGoldrick.
Vervoort's having a bit of a job handling McGoldrick. He's a difficult type player to play against, I would say. He's not particularly pacey, he's not particularly tricky, but he's good at everything. Good all-round player. And Vervoort, who's an international, played a lot of games for Belgium. He knows he's in a game here.
That's right. Now another corner for Arsenal. Davis floating it again. Smith trying to get there to it. Right again. Hitting it on the volley acrobatically. It just flicked off a Belgian defender and fell conveniently for Munaron. Lovely slow motion here. This super slow motion is right. Look at that. It's wonderful. Just flicks off Genoa, in fact. Merson. Winterburn. Hit long towards Smith on the far side. Arsenal moving with a lot of confidence at the moment. Keown. Break here now with Van Roy. Roy again. And the flag up for 2 men offside, Leige and the fullback Genoa.
They do that very well, Brian. They wait till the ball's played back, a little bit like Spurs did when Mabbott and Ruddock were playing together, and then just when the ball goes back, let's come out, and you catch forwards time and time again. It's sometimes frustrating for the paying public, but it's very, very effective.
Leige. Minute of time added on. A lot of credit for Arsenal. They stuck. This is a good Standard Liège side. They've stuck to their job really well. They finally got the breakthrough, and now they're moving forward again. Merson to Winterburn. They get a corner. Will there be time enough to take it before the interval?
Well, Winterburn's got in that position 2 or 3 times. He hasn't had the best of luck. Once cannoned off a defender, back onto him and gone for a goal kick. That time he's failed to miss the defender out. And
Adams is up there. Keown is in there. Merson slips and then gets that second one in. Belgians lining up to get that one away. Winterburn looking around. Actually, Merson is free on this touchline here, and he's making the break, and the flag is up for an offside. So a free kick. A quick word on the first half. Kevin, summing up.
well, I think the very least Arsenal deserve is the 1-goal lead. They've been absolutely camped in the Standard Liège half, but I'm still wary because when they do break, they break with terrific pace and they run from deep positions, which are always hard to pick up. But so far, Arsenal have handled it brilliantly, and George Graham will be delighted with the half-time with a 1-0 lead.
This is Ehlers, the captain. Dixon will get it back. Knocked forward there by David Seaman. Half-time whistle goes. Arsenal leading 1-0. The man of the moment there, arms round Ehlers. Well, he had a real battle with him. He's been the centre of so much in this first half. He's had his name taken as well, Ian Wright, but he scored that crucial opening goal for Arsenal. Arsenal 1, Standard Liège 0.
Welcome back. The second half due to start in just a couple of moments, but we still have time to hear from our resident experts, Ray Wilkins and Glenn Hoddle. Glenn, I'd like to pick up on something Kevin Keegan said just before the break, which was that he was worried about how well Liège break, how well they get men out from deep, and how Arsenal ought to look out for that.
Yeah, I think that they're a side that are obviously going to look for the counter-attack, and it's something in this half that the defence of Arsenal have certainly got to be concentrating, because I think they'll get the second goal. I think it possibly will come from a set play or something, but to go over there with 2-0, then you would fancy them, but at 1-0 or 1-1, so the concentration of the defenders has really got to be tested this half. Yeah.
Ray, we know how Arsenal have been accused of depending on Ian Wright up front and no one else. Do you see any of the other strikers making the breakthrough in the second half?
Well, I think, as Glenn said, especially from set plays, you've always got the likes of a flick on. Your Merson will get on the end of a flick on. And Tony Adams is always likely to score from a set piece because he's so brave and courageous. He bursts through the middle of the goal, and he's always likely to get on the end of a flick on. It always falls back to Ian Wright because he's a colourful character. You know, we want to see Ian Wright do well. He's sharp, he's flamboyant, and Ian Wright scoring goals is what we want to see.
We saw Ian Wright after the game last Wednesday, and he was despondent. I mean, what's brought about this change in him in just 7 days?
Well, I think it's a wonderful occasion at a club level to play in Europe, and there's no better way of bouncing back from a result that they had at international level than scoring goals in the European scene. So it was a wonderful goal, and let's hope he can, do the same in the second half.
Well, we can talk to Ian's manager, George Graham, who's talking now to Gary Newbon.
Now, George, we think you're doing well. How do you think you're doing?
Yeah, I think we're imposing ourselves on them. I'm a little bit disappointed we've not scored more than one goal. I think we've created a few chances, not maybe clear cut, but I think we're doing very well. They've not had any chances at all. I think we've got to be patient, although still sort of keep going at them. Hopefully get a second goal, but we've got to be careful we don't give them a goal. That'll maybe give them a lift.
Thank you.
So we are back in the commentary box with Kevin Keegan alongside me, Brian Moore. 1-0 to Arsenal. Standard Liège, if you just joined us in the yellow shirts, as if you didn't know. Pista. Woods, Ashraf. Hasselmann. Mustn't let Wilmots in. Terrific save by Seaman. Well, that's the first real serious piece of work David Seaman's had to do, and it's the first real look we've had at Mark Wilmots, and we know what a dangerous character he is. I think it's something like 4 goals in the last 5 Belgian internationals. He's really a dangerous customer, and what an excellent piece of goalkeeping there by David Seaman. It's a corner for Standard Liège. They're first in the game. Was Ashraf not far from getting a good contact there, and here's Ian Wright. Play moves to Arsenal's relief to the other end of the field. Good little ball by Wright. Merson picking it up. Smith is waiting in the middle, and whether he tried to fool Mooner on by shooting to that sharp angle instead of playing it back to Smith, I don't know, but it was an excellent ball there by Ian Wright, a super ball, and Merson picking it up well, just onside. And here comes the corner. Merson with it. Vervoort, incidentally, who was got the yellow card in the first half, had picked one up in a previous game, so he will miss the second leg.
Just picking up on the point that was mentioned by Ray Wilkins, and I've got to say, I wish Ray Wilkins had worked for TV last Saturday instead of playing against us up at St James's Park, where he had an excellent game. With Wright saying quickly, he didn't want to play for England, and that. I think that was just spur-of-the-moment stuff, and I think he sort of took a step back now and think about it. It's the one thing every player should want to do, and he must want more of that, and he's still up with the very best in this country, as he's proved once again tonight, Brian.
I think also, Kevin, that there's some credit to George Graham. I think George got him back here as quickly as possible after Rotterdam, sat him down, had a good talk with him, and said, look, where you're talking about you'll never play for England in a World Cup again, you can still play at the age of 34 and score goals. You'll still be in the reckoning. So I think you're quite right. It was a knee-jerk reaction of Ian's. He got to think about it, but I think a lot of credit to George Graham for putting him back on the right lines. Yeah,
he's just took this, the diffuser situation, and that's what he's got to do as a manager.
The cross coming in. Sorry, Kevin.
That's one thing that you don't realise till you're in management, how much effect going away with the national side, the downer. But Arsenal have come out tonight. They've got 9 English players in this side. They're the one side in this country, even better, equipped really than Man United for making a challenge in Europe, because they have to make so few changes.
Well, Goossens coming on now. Goossens, I think they pronounce him. And it's Hasselmann who's going off. And this is a dangerous, temperamental young man. He's only 19. He's played for Belgium already. But Ali Hahn says he needs a little more discipline. Apparently he's a fairly lively lad, both on and off the field. But,
got every chance of making a footballer then, Brian.
Well, and away goes Hasselmann.
I felt sorry for Hasselmann. He's gone off. He must be absolutely shattered, yet he's hardly had a kick of the ball. He's done a lot of running.
Long ball play towards Eddie McGoldrick, goes safely through to Mooner. George Graham on the bench there, on the right of the picture. Stuart Houston, his right-hand man. It's a tactical substitution, no injury, one striker for another. Wilmots. Lachaf. And Roy, Seaman out very quickly. Right chasing. They claim a handball there by Rednich. Was it a deliberate handball? It's a yellow card for the big Romanian defender.
You know, Ian Wright's there. I think this is where what people I don't personally like. Yeah, it's definitely handball, but he's not through on goal. And I think to give him a red card, which is what Ian Wright was saying, you know, you maybe should. I think he's wrong. Having said that, it is deliberate handball, and we're seeing again the interpretation of the rules are down at the end of the day to an individual, as we saw in Rotterdam last week.
Only too well. Ian Wright having a little chat with one of the defenders there, Pista. A yellow card then for the defender, Rednich.
Will Merson have more luck than he had for England the other night, where he hit the post?
Against the post. I think Winterburn might feel he wants a little whack at this one as well. Who will it be? Well, we'll have to wait for that Liege wall to retreat full 10 yards.
I think it's going to be Merson, because it depends which side he takes. Yeah, he's going the other side. It'll be Merson, I think. Probably got it wrong.
It's Merson. And it's a goal! Well, you said you hoped he had better luck than he had in Rotterdam when he smacked the Dutch post. A lovely free kick there by Paul Merson. Over the wall. What a great sight that is. Muneron was left stranded, and Arsenal are 2 ahead.
It's a magnificent free kick. The goalkeeper's looking a bit astounded, but I don't think he can blame himself. I mean, you take a position and someone puts it right in the top corner, right next to the post. It's good night, Vienna.
And whether Rednich should have got a yellow or a red, they've been punished severely for it. Right. Davis, McGoldrick. Trevor just keeping it in play. Goossens. Trevor. Goossens. Adam gets it back. Seaman gets it clear. Towards right. Well, if there was a little bit of rehabilitation needed for both those England men from last week, Paul Merson and Ian Wright, both got on the score sheet here today, and it'll make them feel a good deal better. Smith to Wright. This will fall for Lachaf, the Moroccan.
I think Ariane will be very disappointed with the final ball, especially in the last third of the field there. They've never really found each other on this fairly slippy pitch, you know. They've never really come to terms with it. Again, Ian Wright involved in making that free kick. His pace worrying the back four of Liege. And
here we are again, another angle from this excellent Merson free kick. Suddenly the ball appearing over the wall. And a lovely sight for Arsenal fans in the back of the Standard Liège net. Smith. Davis. Merson. Adams. Keown delivered that lovely ball for the first goal, and the flag has stayed down, and Adams just getting there, in fact. Elias.
I think he is a man who's won over a lot of people in this country. When he first came on the scene, you know, people weren't quite sure about him, but he's all guts and blood and thunder, but he's got ability as well, and they put all those three things together and you've got a player.
Ball played through towards Wilmots. Seaman read that well. police having a little bit of trouble with some Standard Liège fans actually down behind the Standard goal. Jensen. Still touched by Dixon, but McGoldrick is offside. As you can see, the police fairly heavily involved there, carting away one fan. And Roy, Adams, that's the Belgian section of the ground there, as I've just said. And Roy with the throw. That's Arsenal's throw.
It's really set up for Arsenal now. They've just got to keep playing the way they're playing, and they know they're going to cause them more problems with Wright's pace, with Smith as the other option, as we said early on. The two lads getting wider now, and they're really taking the game to the Standard Liège, even more so, at a different pace than they did in the first half as well.
Here's Wright again. Flag is up for an offside. Right, certainly didn't look to be offside. Rednich. Leonard, another youngster, only 19 years old, the number 4. Rednich again. And he lost that to McGoldrick. Leonard, Rednich, now McGoldrick taking hold of this one, flicking the ball nicely inside. McGoldrick's gone down. Davis with a shot. It's against the post. Arsenal really imposing themselves now on this Cup Winners' Cup game. But wait, here's Goossens, but the flag is up.
Brian, that really typifies where the Belgians for me have become a little bit unstuck tonight. They played some lovely touch football, but it's in the last third, it's in their own defensive area of the field, and they get one bad pass, and I mean, Paul Davis can count himself very unlucky not to add to his tally of goals for Arsenal.
Actually, I didn't realise what a good save it was from Mooner on there. He just got that vital touch on it and pushed it against the post.
Yeah, on this slippy surface, anything kept low, zipping across, and goalkeeper's got to really be on the metal.
Verwoerd, in goes Jensen. Shattering into the back there of young Leonard. Pista. Adams backpedaling, and comes Seaman very quickly indeed. Finds Merson with that little pass. Merson in turn to Dixon.
There again, Brian, the final ball in is just not of the quality. I mean, Ariane will be cursing the players when they come in after this match, because they have had some good possession in good areas, but they've totally wasted it.
Smith chasing this, right there alongside him. In comes Davis. Wright plays it wide for Paul Merson. And Geno puts it away into the disabled section down there. And Ali Hahn
trying to eat the dugout there, Brian. It's a long way back for them now, because he's going to find out what a lot of sides in England already know, that once Arsenal get a couple of goals up, it's very, very difficult to get back in it.
Winterburn with the throw. Leonard. And back to Winterburn again. No free kick. Van Roy. Goossens up alongside him. Schaff making the run as well. Wilmot's in here too. Back comes Merson, doing some good work, getting support there now from Keown. And
what a game we've got now, Brian, because we must remember, if they get a goal, 2-1's a great result for them. So Arsenal have got to calculate just how they're going to go forward and not do anything silly.
If they get a goal, that important away goal, they would need only to win by a single goal, 1-0 in Liège, with the Belgian Cup winners. So it's still very much on tender hooks for Arsenal. They've still got to stay really vigilant and disciplined in defence. Rednich, Allers, the captain, hits it straight at Winterburn. Smith. away by Merson. Van Roy. And goes Keown as well. Gets the ball up to right. Rednich beats him low. Leonard. At 2-0, it's still very finely balanced, isn't it?
It is, and it's everything that European football should be. I mean, it's still on a knife edge. The people here, I mean, it's not the biggest crowd I've ever seen at Highbury, but certainly they've paid good money, and they're getting to see a real contest where a Belgium side that's got a lot of class in it are playing an English side that on the night are just giving them a little bit of a footballing lesson for me.
Winterburn. Arsenal's throw. See the empty seats there. That's the last part of the restructuring. 25,258, the crowd. But the seats are going to be in, and I think for your visit here, Newcastle United's in about a fortnight's time, isn't it, Kevin?
Yeah.
Yes. Right stop there.
And we'll be able to fill them, Brian, too.
I'm sure you will. I think the capacity eventually will be around about 41,000 here at Highbury. Winterburn. Smith, Merson, McGoldrick, good play here. And a goal kick to Stade Liège.
Yeah, George Graham there, he's shouting on, but he'll be delighted with the application of his side tonight. It's very professional, inventive when they've had the chance to be, but very, very Scrooge-like at the back, which is he asked for before the game. You know, his quote before the game was said that they're a typical continental team with good technique and passing ability, which we haven't really seen that much of tonight. But important thing for us tonight is that we don't give away any goals. So far, it's almost if you made that quote knowing what was going to happen.
Yep. Dixon. Keown. Seaman's coming out there. Offside flag up against Alan Smith. Free kick taken by no means from the right position. And Roy gets it through to Goossens. Now the flag is up for an offside against the young Belgian.
I think the referee let him away with murder there, Brian, and luckily there was nothing come of it, but that was good 10-15 yards forward of where the offside was. And I think if he knocks it in this score, they might be thinking about taking him off the list next week, you know, when they see the video.
Adams. Up goes Smith. In goes right. The flag is up. The save is made. It's a free kick to Stade Liège.
Lovely combination there between Smith and Wright. You know, he knows if he adds anything on, that 9 times out of 10, Wright will be as quick and onto it, quicker than anybody I know.
Verwoerd. Van Roy. Wright climbing all over it. He wasn't going to get away with that. It's not the only football on ITV tonight. Remember, at 10:40 tonight, highlights of Manchester United against Galatasaray in the European Cup at Old Trafford. Leonard. Ellis.
Never a dull moment with ITV at the moment. What with the Rotterdam game last week as well.
And now Arsenal attacking again. Merson and Wright up there. The yellow shirts are getting back, and Wright got there first. It's with Ian Wright. It's a wonderful goal by Ian Wright. That was a super goal.
You can talk about all the great finishes you've ever seen, but this lad ranks with the best of them that I've ever seen. There's still a lot of work to do. It's great little ball from Merson. They're both on the same wavelength here. Look at this. But there's an awful lot of work to do. He knows the goalkeeper's going to come. He knows he's going to lie down. And he's been there so many times in his career. Crystal Palace and probably non-league before that. He just knows exactly what he's going to do. What a run this is.
And what a lovely little chip at the end of it. I mean, running at pace like that, just flick over the goalkeeper. A wonderful bit of cold-eyed finishing there by Ian Wright. And as you say, never a dull moment with us at the moment, Kevin. 3-0 for Arsenal. McGoldrick. Flick wide. Dixon. As we see that right skill yet again. Seaman.
And this chap doesn't want to play for England anymore. I can't believe that.
Well,
I think the headlines tomorrow will be, yeah, I was disappointed, yeah, I was going to hand it to somebody else. But I've had to think about it. You know, this football's not such a bad game anymore. And he's out of the depression in the best way possible for strikers. He's scored goals, and he loves scoring goals.
Silly to say the last Wednesday's forgotten, but the pain has certainly been eased by Norwich last night, by Aston Villa last night, by Arsenal here certainly tonight.
Well, the great thing about football, Brian, is there's always another match, and there'll be other games for England. They're not definitely out yet, but you feel that it's gone against us now, and it's got to be forgotten, and we've got to get on with rebuilding and restructuring, and then not give in to all the doom merchants, because there's still a lot of good in English football, as we're seeing here.
And here's Wright again.
And here's one of the best things for me. It's a shame he really took so long to get to the top, but the fact that it took him so long, he's got a lot of miles left on his clock for me.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you start later, you know, you've got so many games in you, I believe, and he could play, and George Graham's right, he could play until he's 34, 35. And then we'll see more of this. I hope I'm not seeing more of this when we're playing, by the way.
Lovely goal.
Class finish, no other word for it.
Yes, he came up through Greenwich Borough and then was spotted by Crystal Palace. What a wonderful career he had there with Mark Bright. And now it's blossoming again here at Highbury. Arsenal get it back almost nonchalantly there to David Seaman. It's it long towards the ever-willing Alan Smith, but beaten in the air that time. Smith didn't quite get to that one. Van Roy. Elias still need to be watched. Wilmots. Dixon just stuck a foot out there. That was a valuable little clearance by him. Keown.
Martin Keown's had a good game tonight. No, the defence as a unit have, but he wouldn't normally be. He hasn't really become a regular here, Brian. But his performance tonight, I think, has been as good as I've seen it. In fact, it's back to the very best he was when he was at Everton. It got him an England call-up.
Well, certainly George Graham's got a terrific squad here now, and you think the likes of Linnigan and Campbell and Limpar are on the bench, along with young Ray Parlour and the substitute goalkeeper Alan Miller. If you're going to play 42 league games, look at a happy old bunch there, Kevin Campbell and Ray Parlour. If you're going to play 42 league games and you're going to play cup ties, I think I heard Martin Edwards of Manchester United saying if they went all the way in the European Cup, they're playing something like 68 games. And if you're going to play that sort of number of games, which of course is ludicrous, you are going to need a squad of this proportion.
It's ludicrous, Brian, but to be successful, that's what you've got to do. And then to be successful and be ready for it, you've got to have a squad that can cope with that.
Aldrich half giving that away, and then it came off Dixon. Back for David Seaman.
I think David Seaman's looked very alert tonight. He's had very little to do, Brian. A lot of people criticise his performance for England. You know, the free kick, I think you were the first one to spot it. And everybody at home must have seen there was a chance. And the second goal, possibly because he was running back and didn't come across. But he's proved tonight, you know, in a difficult game, he's had to make one save and he's made it. And that's always a good test for a goalkeeper when they're not so busy.
Here's Leonard now for Standard Liège. Pista. Goldrich there. Just going to keep their discipline now, Arsenal. And Goldrich again.
Look how they're working round each other. Three Arsenal shirts there, Brian. They're 3-0 up. They're loving this.
What a lovely ball played down the line by McGoldrick as well. Smith picks it up, gets it back. Slide rule there for Ian Wright. And it never stops moving in the midfield area there, John Jensen. And now Winterburn. And still a little over 20 minutes to go. Smith.
Maybe 20 minutes to go, Brian, but this tie's over, I think. It's a case of how many. I'd like to see him right in action. He has played that well tonight.
Flag has stayed down. Smith is in there. Wright is after it, but now the flag is up.
Very, very difficult job to be a linesman in this day and age. Even more so, it's so quick. The rules changed, as we all know, in the last couple of years, and it's level now, which is always difficult to know. I don't think anyone in the world can watch when the ball's being kicked and look along the line at the same time, unless, you know, you're cross-eyed. But they've done a great job here tonight, the officials.
Ehlers with a good ball out to Lashaf. He was pulled to the ground by Lee Dixon. Welcome. Come out from Manchester. Lee Dixon. Show a free kick. Trevor will take it. Leonard's gone in there. Arsenal need to defend. They don't want to concede a goal here. And they won't.
The final ball in from everything has been really poor tonight, and I don't know whether, you know, I mean, obviously Arsenal have defended well, and they're just playing for the pride now. I mean, here's one man who'll keep going, for Vert. I think he's been one of the better players, but I'm looking around for people who have performed to anything like a standard for them, and they're few and far between. We've seen little glimpses from Wilmots, but not enough for me. And all the stars are in red and white tonight, and that's lovely for British football.
Absolutely. Here's Wilmots in the Arsenal penalty area. Needs to defend here. Comes to Pista. Okay.
It's a magnificent stadium now here at Highbury. It's different to any other stadium. It's got tradition when you come to it, and I think they've kept that tradition in the way they've designed it. And it really is a credit to them.
Merson, long-range shot. Okay. Of course, the stands we're sitting in and the one opposite us here, I think, were built in the mid-1930s. So that's a real bit of tradition. I mean, just imagine how much ahead of the time they were then.
What was it like then, Brian, watching football? Was it good?
Cruel. Ehlers.
That was in the days when you could play cricket and football, Brian.
That's right. One or two players here would have done. Dennis Compton, Arthur Milton.
I think the modern day footballer could play cricket, but he'd probably just be about for 1 week, 10 days possibly. It's a change, totally changed now, but they have kept the character here. And the pitch, the surface itself is a super playing surface.
To Arsenal then. McGoldrick flicking it on. Smith. Pista. This is Rednic, the Romanian. It's the first time he's gone forward. Lashaf. It's an Arsenal throw.
We did so much about the shaft, the number 8, but he really hasn't taken any part in this game. He hasn't had good service, but when he has had it, he hasn't done much with it.
Right. He's done plenty with it. Rednic. Gerson's brought down. Free kick.
Reading George Graham's notes in the programme where he said we haven't played very well lately. They still don't get beat very often, and you know they're going to come back and play like this, and when they do, you know they're going to be up near the top of the league. They've got so much ability in the side. Sometimes you don't always see it, but tonight we've seen it all, I think.
Van Rooij comes out to Davis. Quietly prodding through those midfields, Paul Davis. Some good work tonight. It's been an excellent team performance, sparked off, of course, topped off rather by the work of Ian Wright. Jensen, Dixon, no, good challenge that time by Lashaf. And it's be an Arsenal throw. So we've got about a quarter of an hour left now. John Jensen, Aleos getting it away. Flag up for offside, a free kick to Standard Liège. Super night for Arsenal this, but I suppose I'm one of the world's great pessimists. The bottle's always half empty, another half full. But if they conceded a goal now, 3-1 is still a difficult match away from home.
It's difficult to concede a goal when you're in the last third of their,
That's right.
their half, bro. That's where they want to stay, where they are now.
Winterburn.
I think the ironical thing is
Merson. Yes.
A lot of players on this pitch are going to be in the World Cup, but unfortunately they're all playing in yellow. But
That's
tonight,
right.
you wouldn't believe that, would you?
And Moroccan as well. Kieran. Baldrick. He might be playing in the World Cup for the Republic of Ireland. Hope so.
It's one of the few bad passes that, really from anybody in the Arsenal side tonight. They've given it very little.
This is Van Roy. Excellent left foot of his up to Wilmots. Swinging it wide to the far side. Number 7 is Ehlers. Pista. Chenot. Instantly surrounded by 3 Arsenal players.
That's what's really impressed me, not just the way they've played, but the way they've charged them down, they've closed down as a unit, you know, not just singly. I think George Graham they put this down as their best performance of the season so far. It must be. I can't think I've seen them play any better than this.
Kieran. Kieran again. Oh,
that's the danger, you know,
yeah.
Starting to mess around a little
That's
bit.
Right.
But it's very difficult. You tell players, keep going, keep doing what got us a 3-goal lead, but it just creeps in, a little bit of complacency. A little touch more than you need.
Seaman hitting it long, offside. Let's have a word with Gary Newbon.
Well, Brian, I can see why George Graham and hear why George Graham is such a good manager. He hasn't relaxed once. He's not worried about his defence. Obviously, he doesn't want to concede a goal, but he's concentrating on Wright taking position and dropping away, on Smith dropping back, on Davis taking position, and Merson staying wide. He's on their backs all the while. He can smell another goal coming.
I've worked for a few people like that as well, on your backs all the time. Here's Nigel Winterburn.
I worked for a manager at Scunthorpe who could smell a goal coming, but he just didn't know when it was going to come.
Or which end, possibly.
Yeah, or which end. He had a fair idea which one. He didn't like the smell. They're devoid of ideas now, Standard Liège, and they just wish the referee's watch was saying 90 minutes up, because they're not going to get a goal. I can safely say that. Unless they really change their plan, because they've not been inventive enough to break down this Arsenal side.
Don't forget there are goal highlights tonight at 10:40 of Manchester United against Galatasaray. I'm not allowed to tell you the score. In fact, I don't know it myself, but all I'm keep being told by people down below is that it's an amazing game and you really do have to watch it. That's at 10:40 tonight. Wish I knew the score myself. Van Roy. Knocked back by Dixon. There's an offside flag up against Lasha.
It really annoys you as a manager when a player with his pace keeps getting caught offside, because they don't need the extra yard.
He's had an unhappy time, Ali Khan. He's just getting over flu, and he very nearly left the club, I'm told, about 3 weeks ago when they'd sold a couple of their best players and had promised reinforcements which weren't coming. And I gather that the German club Schalke came in for him, but that Ari was talked out of it.
Of course, he has coached in Germany before,
yes,
and very successfully. But as a manager now, I know how he feels.
It's a corner for Arsenal, which Merson will take. I guess about 10 minutes left now.
I hope they keep going to the tape here, Arsenal, because it's been a superb performance. It'd be a shame if they just took the foot off the gas.
Merson with the corner for Arsenal, swinging in there well. That was a good bit of defending by Elias though, because Smith was looking for that little flick on at the near post.
They've hit every single corner to Smith. I wonder if they'll try a different one.
Deeper one this time, straight to the goalkeeper Munaron.
And that's why they don't try him, Brian. I don't think the keeper's done badly for them at all. I don't think you can fault him for any of the goals.
No.
He's done his job. The defenders around him have been a little bit lax.
Goosens. Back to see.
I saw Goosens play about 6 months ago. I went over to Ghent to watch a game against Standard Liège. Ghent against Standard Liège. He was excellent, but he's come on tonight and he's not really had his service, but he is technically a very good player.
Kevin Campbell, as you saw, about to come on. Little touch there. And Merson just a fraction offside.
Don't think he would have caught the ball. Anything clipped tonight is just skidding off the surface, and it really needs to be measured. I don't think he'll take Ian Wright off. Having said that,
I think he might be.
Having said that, he's over near the dugout. Well, I wouldn't want to go if I was Ian Wright.
It's the first thing you got wrong tonight, I think.
I'm going to stick one in my head, Brian.
One thing you can assure you get a tremendous roar from the crowd. Appreciation, I suppose disappointment as well when Ian Wright goes off.
The biggest appreciation, Brian, will be from the Standard Liège players. Who'll be glad to see the back of him.
Little 1-2 there between Merson and Paul Davis. Smith trying to pick it up. Rednich. Lister now to Rednich. Van Rooij. Vervoort.
There's that final ball again, Brian.
Yeah.
Poor, isn't it? You know, and that's from an international player.
Picked up again by Dixon, and Keown getting it back to David Seaman. Let's have a play. Chance for the substitution to be made. Ian Wright, right down by the touchline there, is off the field. What a contribution tonight. 2 goals, and both beauties at that. Booking is on the downside, and on comes Kevin Campbell.
Maybe it's with that booking in mind, Brian, that they took him off, but you'd need a big hook to get me off. I've scored 2 goals.
6 goals for Kevin Campbell this season, and Andy Linnigan's on as well, so they've taken Martin Keown off.
For me, they've took the 2 best players off. I think the 2 of them have been excellent tonight, along with many others, of course, but they're the 2 I would single out. One defensively doing his job terrifically, and the other one just killing them.
Little ball there, and a good ball by Adams. Can Dixon pick this up? He's got some support from McGoldrick just behind him, but he tries the cross himself, and straight into the arms of the keeper from Kevin Campbell. That would have been a most amazing substitution, and that would have been his first touch.
And he really should have scored, Brian. This is a great bit of work. He dummies, and he absolutely sells. The guy's bought it. And this, I mean, he's up lovely and early. He's just got to direct it, and he's not done enough for me. And that is a criticism sometimes aimed at Campbell, but this year he seems to have scored more goals than he ever has.
Keown and Wright, we gather, both with little bits of hamstring injuries. Don't know how serious they are. Certainly Arsenal fans will be hoping not too serious. Hamstrings can be a bit of a trouble. But Andy Linnigan's on. Cup final hero, of course, with a winning goal, which of course brought Arsenal into this competition. So yes, not serious, I'm being told, just a precautionary measure taking them both off. Winterburn up to Campbell. Little ball played inside. What a good combination down that left flank between those 2. In goes Campbell, but it's Wilmots who gets it clear for Standard Liège, finds Van Rooij.
Van Rooij's been a disappointment. He's had a little bit of a nightmare. He doesn't look fully fit to me. Now, whether he normally plays like this, I don't know. He's a little bit Gazan-like there, just from this side.
The criticism of him is that he lacks a little bit of steel and stamina. You know, when the going gets really tough, he doesn't really relish that a great deal.
Well, it's been tough tonight, Brian, hasn't it? And he looks like he hasn't relished it. It's a criticism you could aim at a lot of them. But I mean, we'd be being unfair to Arsenal if we say that they look a very average side. They've been made to look a very average side here by an Arsenal side that's really performed for me, outstandingly in every department.
Just a little over 5 minutes left now. Linnigan backtracking. It's a nice little pass here for Lee Dixon. Oh, almost the perfect pass down that flank from McGoldrick, but Vervoort just got a foot in there. Jensen, a little space here for Arsenal possibly. There's John Jensen. Plays inside towards Smith. Jensen again. Still can't get that first elusive goal for Arsenal.
Well, he's not. He doesn't look like a prolific scorer, but he snaps at people's heels.
He's a prolific worker, I tell you that,
yes,
isn't
he works hard, and you know he really has become quickly what I would call a typical midfield player for Arsenal. But when it comes to finishing, I think he's got to leave it to Wright.
Yep.
Or Merson.
Up goes Campbell. Little flick there from Paul Davis.
He's looking round for something to do with his ball and he can't see it.
Oh, he's looking for
people who aren't there, Brian.
That's right.
You know.
Jensen to Merson. Jensen again. Right inside here for Davis. Dixon. McGoldrick. And there's a good cross by him. He gets a chance of another one now. Dixon.
Don't need the players to shout here at Arsenal. The crowd shout for them, man on, don't they? Almost 25,000 of them.
Adams pointing to Linnigan, telling him where he was going to play that ball. Played that, and it came off Eddie McGoldrick.
McGoldrick hasn't been as much involved in the second half, but he's kept his width and therefore given Arsenal outlets all over the place, because once you keep your width, the field becomes much wider for people like Wright and Smith.
On our camera down there. There'll be a throw which Patrick Vervoort will take.
Referee's done a good job tonight, Brian. He early on booked a couple of players, and you know, normally I don't think referees would have probably booked them for it, but he set his standards, and the game's been a credit to him really, because he started off in such a good fashion.
Good point. Mr. Carper from Austria. Cut out well by Merson. He's enjoyed himself tonight. Geno. And Winterburn. Actually, when you look all around this Arsenal side, I'm just going to say he's had a good game as well. They've all performed really well tonight, haven't they, as a team as well as individually?
Yeah, if you were marking them out of 10, you'd give them all 8 and probably Wright the 9 because he's got the 2 goals. But it has been a real team performance, and I think that's what Arsenal are all about, Brian. When they play well as a team. And a lot of people say, well, they need Wright's goals. And of course, any team needs goals. But they're more than just a one-man team.
Van Roy. Last 2 minutes of the game now. McGoldrick brought down by Vervoort. Free kick. And Vervoort, well, that's a silly thing to do. He's already been booked. He's missing the second leg because he's already had a yellow card in a previous game. And he just kicks the ball away, which is not the canniest thing to do. Here's Jensen. Finding a way through, although he's being pulled back there by right under the referee's eyes, as you can see there, young Goossens. McGoldrick. Dixon tried to just flick that through for the run of Jensen. Pister playing it wide onto the far side there. Good interception again by Tony Adams. Linnigan in there too. Merson with a little touch. Knocked back beautifully there by Winterburn for Campbell. Merson. Can Smith? Can Jensen? No.
He wants to stay up there and keep shooting. I think one eventually will go in for him. I think the ground he covers is tremendous, and you know, a lot of times you don't notice that, especially if the team hasn't played well. But
Played in nicely there by Smith.
That rule in America to bring smaller goalkeepers in and make the goals bigger.
They might have a chance.
Might help. I don't mean that unkindly, because he does score goals and he will score goals, but not tonight. He's left his shoes in the box, as we say.
Davis. Goldrick. Arsenal looking for number 4. Goldrick's gone past his man. In amongst the empty seats. No doubt will be filled in future European Cup Winners' Cup games now, because Arsenal have done such a good job here tonight. Obviously very, very clear favourites to go through to the next round.
He does excellently here to get into that position, but then just leans back and rifles it over. But he's made a good contribution. I wonder if we'll see him playing against Vervoort in the World Cup, because there's a good chance Belgium and the Republic of Ireland, of course, we all want to go. Big Jack, and they had a little setback last time, but I'm pretty sure they'll still be there.
Finnegan's powerful header. You've enjoyed this tonight, haven't you?
Yeah, it's one of the best games I can remember seeing at Highbury in a long time. Sometimes the pitch looks small here, and you feel like there's not enough room for everybody. But I've really enjoyed it. It's been a real boost for British football too, because we needed that. And we've proved here, if we needed to prove it, that we can compete with the best, because Leige are one of the best sides in Europe. They've got tremendous traditions. And they've done us proud tonight, Arsenal. Well done.
Keep Wilmot's out. Good challenge again by Winterburn. Allez playing it wide here to Patrick Vervoort. Still got to make sure they keep this clean sheet in the last few seconds. Schaff on the far side. Merson surely will get this away. And he does. Leaves it carefully up to Kevin Campbell. 6 goals this season, Campbell.
Davis has found himself a lovely little niche in this team. Years ago he used to play a lot more forward, but now he plays almost in front of the defence, but a lot of the good things that are set off by him. And he wins an awful lot. I've been impressed with him in 50-50 tackles and winning the loose ball tonight. So he's adapted well to that position. Things that don't come naturally to him, I think. He does well.
Finnegan playing it forward, hitting it straight to Pista. And Leige on the far side. Still got to be sure they keep that door locked at the back. Here's this man Van Roy with the left foot. Easy that time for David Seaman. Referee looking hard at the watch again, and at the linesman. No offside. Gerson's battling away there with Winterburn, and they get a corner. No time for a slip up now. 3-0 looks lovely on the scoreboard, you can see, and indeed there's no time for the corner. A good job, very well done there by Arsenal, with those 2 goals by Ian Wright and the smiling Paul Merson having had the third with that wonderful free kick of his. But there's no doubt about it, that puts Arsenal really in pole position now for this second leg as well, and for advancements in the Cup Winners' Cup. The man of the moment is Ian Wright, and he's with Gary Newborn.
Yes, he certainly is the man of the moment. You've gone 5 games without scoring. Why did it come so good tonight for you then?
Well, you know, the boss had a word with me, wanted me to get in the box more, make more runs, and thought it was happening a bit more for me tonight. And, you know, I was thankful to get the 2 goals. Thought the boys played brilliantly tonight.
They did play very well, but they were very good individual goals. Now, this is your first chance to see them, obviously. Yeah. Tell us about these.
Alan does well to hold it up, and Martin just knocks in a good ball there. And I just had to take a chance really in front of the goalie. And I was lucky enough that he committed himself.
Well, that was a bit of skill, it wasn't just luck. No, this was a really good goal.
Yeah, Mercer's brilliant like that. He holds it up for me well, and I just pointed in the direction, and then as I saw the keeper come, I just lifted it over him.
Very good performance by Arsenal tonight.
Yeah, we was pleased. We knew that they was going to be quite tricky. You know, they have got good technical ability. Their final ball might not have been as well as they would have liked it, but, you know, we had to go out and do the business tonight, and I felt we did.
Well, it's been some week for you. What a strange week with the England squad last week and this tonight. What's the situation about you in England?
Well, you know, there was, I think a few of the things that I said was taken out of context. There's no way that I'm ready to hang up any kind of England boots. You know, it's a great honour to play, and I'll play as long as Graham Taylor wants me to play.
Do you think the goal drought here, meanwhile, at Arsenal is over? Could you see this is the thing you needed?
I never see myself in a goal drought.
No, but the team generally, there's only 4 of you have scored this season.
Yeah, but, you know, we're playing as well as we can. If it doesn't go in, you know, you just have to keep doing the things that you're good at, and I think we keep doing that, and you just have to be patient with it.
OK, well, it looks as if he won this tie. Well done.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, Ian.
Right, he done all right, didn't he? We'll have the views of Glenn Hoddle and Ray Wilkins right after this break. Welcome back, where Arsenal have won by 3-0, beating Standard Liège here at Highbury. Glenn Hoddle, we can have a look at the match facts now, and it's pretty convincing, isn't it?
Very much so, yes. I think you can tell by the stats that Arsenal have totally dominated the game with set plays and in free play, and a very positive, good performance from Arsenal.
Goal attempts there, but some great goals in the second half as well. Some real quality from Arsenal's England men.
Well, we started off just into the second half with Paul Merson's lovely free kick here. They got a nice little shield in front of the wall, 2 Arsenal players. And as Winterburn goes over the ball, obviously the goalkeeper just can't see where it's going. It's a beautiful bit of skill. And this is the sort of thing where, you know, we're praising continentals when they do this, but it just shows that we have got the talent in this country.
And we were all applauding Ray Wilkins when Ian Wright put this one in.
Oh, this was a magnificent goal. I think you can actually see Ian Wright taking his defender away from that space, and it's just a straight ball from Paul. And as Munaron comes out, Wright just has a little glance up and dinks it over the top. That really was a class goal from 2 players actually thinking on the same wavelength. There it is again, just a straight ball from Merce, but that's what he's good at, running with the ball like that. And there's Ian Wright with a fantastic finish. Really a good professional performance from the Arsenal.
It nearly didn't end there either, at 3-0 on the night, but it could so easily have been 4 or 5 with some great chances in the second half. Yeah,
they had some terrific efforts at goal, Arsenal, you must say that, and Standard Liège really, their heads dropped in the second half, and they're a little bit unfortunate that they couldn't have had sort of 4 or 5 and totally, you know, sewn the tie up. This is Paul Davis coming in on his left peg, and no one's gone to close him, and he's hit a nicely struck there. It's a good save at the end of the day. It's a good save. The goalkeeper's, it's a difficult position for the goalkeeper to save from, and he's done his job there.
Kevin Campbell got on the end of this cross here. You would say that was a great substitution, wouldn't you, Ray?
It was a great cross. I think had Kevin been on 5 minutes earlier, he may well have just touched his back where it's come from. But he's just come on the pitch. I think that was his first touch of the ball. But in saying that, a player of Kevin's ability would be a little bit disappointed he didn't score.
On the basis of this first leg, would you expect Arsenal to be amongst the quarter-finalists in the spring?
Very much so. I think looking at them tonight, they were very positive. They caused all sorts of problems for their opponents, and I would say, you know, they don't give much away when they go away from home, and they should end up getting through this tie without any shadow of a doubt.
Briefly, a prediction for the second leg, just quickly, Ray?
No, I think Arsenal are far too professional to go there and lose. 3 goals is far too much for Standard.
OK, gentlemen, thanks very much. That's just about it from